And Lava will pick up the player of the game on Renekton. What does this mean? It's really a long king, you know, finding the right target in the right moment. And Lava will be the unanimous pick.
Viego going to be left open, but they're going to also follow suit and go for the Renekton themselves. We'll see if this ends up being mid lane for them because Gravitum hitting in lane.
This would be interesting. Renekton Italy
Yes.
is coming in. T1 are angry.
This is
coming in, shutting them down.
Completely different style of Renekton priority.
Especially early on in the game. I just really love what they have with those 2 picks.
Later parts of the game where he's going to do lots of value. I think a low-risk game for Owner is probably the way you want to play this, and that's kind of how he's been playing his last few series here.
That are very often for a good reason. And this lane, you know, so far, I mean, in game number 2, Hoya was getting some nice work done. Yeah, it's
that extra
a
damage.
bit clunky in that manner, as they may have been able to see exactly where he's backing. Yes, they will, and that is your will land, but that is just about that.
I mean, Canna has his Gnar bar up, so I like this positioning here for Owner because he has a lot of agency here right now. Teleport coming through.
There we go. There's the stun, but Spear takes a little bit longer. Jumping in, not able to secure that kill, but Faker will be able to, as now they're looking for a little bit more. Umpty underneath the turret stays around a little bit too long, and Faker.
3-step process, right? Owner comes over here, threatens the Silas, prevents his back, comes over, starts trading with Umpty, and Kanna's like, I got my Gnar bar. Faker's here. Like, they called the teleport super early. He gets the dash through and gets the kill. This is so well set up, and it was set up moments before this. It's so perfect here. How much value they get out of it. Might even get a kill here.
Now they're definitely going to at least poke Hoya away.
So much value here, and they're just denying Umpty from rotating.
Oh, wow. Look at Faker. I mean, he knows Lava's still here, right? So he's like, okay, I can go 1v2. He's got help from his teammates on the top side. Owner, as full map control right now is handily in the hands of T1 at this point in time. Everybody on the side. That is a really nice spear. Got so close to hitting the light there through the wall. Scaria, again, is just trying to push them away from the mid turret so that
they power this Viego pick as well, you know?
All right, well, this is one way to do it. Canna getting baited into this one, but again, it's only Rakan, and you can see the amount of damage that the Gnar can do from this point in time. Finally, the charm comes out. A little bit too little, too late, as yes, Canna might die, but he's able to pick up the kill 1v2, and everybody on the side of Fred Brion had to be
5v5 team fight. Owner is well and truly online, as we're going to watch this from Canna. It's a bait here, but he actually ends up getting the second ultimate, which is way better here. Into the wall,
again.
Wall of power, ends up getting the kill. Wants to get 2, and then
야, 나 앞으로 갈게.
He's like, I'm just going to go
나
for
거의
it.
죽을만해. 이거 그웬 라칸 노궁, 그웬 라칸 노궁이야.
T1.
Let's look for the second Rift Herald. It's like, no, like.
Yeah, T1, aka Turret 1, aka Turret 5 now. They've taken off of the map now to take that vision away. There's no turret. There's nothing.
Faker taking it very literally, and so is Owner. Actually has to flash back. Ocean Rift, by the way, as the stun is going to come down here. The Braum ultimate from Lava actually is pretty nice, as now we get the engage, and this is one way they can get on in here. Faker is just unkillable, though, in that back line, as Hoya does get a lot of value. Turns out to be a 1-for-1, but a lot of low health bars here on the side of T1 and actually Fred Brion, so.
Gonna go back and watch this exchange one more time. Is, you know, trading even at this stage of the game is a pretty good look for Fred Brion. They are able to punish this quite well. They're playing around this Baron vision. They have to commit a teleport to this. As you can see, Hoya comes through. Faker is just so unkillable, though. Like, this is not a good look for how the team fights could go if T1 are not playing a team fight with one hand tied behind their back.
Yeah.
But hey, small victories.
Okay, well, I don't know if you want to be fighting Faker here, but stealing Dominus is going to, so you can't come in here. As they're trying to, but this amount of vision clear has been great, trying to get into the pit now, but the Gnar ultimate over the wall, and the Viego just melts into that wall immediately. As now they're trying to get on top of Hoya. Faker didn't want to have to flash, but he will to pick up that kill.
T1 is the part of the storyline for us going into this is, does T1 actually make a run for that top spot? And after losing in game 2, you're like, well, this should have been a little bit more dominant, but in the 2 games they win, but this game is most certainly over. In the 2 games they win in the series, it's clean. Like, it is so clean. It's extremely one-sided. And whenever they want to pull the trigger, once these turrets are down, is one of the easiest ways.
Oh!
But it is
through
recon.
the gate.
If he gets somebody else, that's actually a kill, but he got the recon.
Clutch when you're this far behind.
No, you just, I mean, you get hit by one of those and you lose the game.
Well, Moonlight Vigil is down now, and you can see Umpty was looking to potentially set something up with that, but the answer will be no.
That will be changed by this.
All right.
Okay.
Finally, we do have that coming in, but he has cleanse again, so... Well, here we go. This time the cleanse not available, so the team has to try to defend them. They do that decently well. As actually the root does go down. Hoya trying to frontline here a little bit, and a massive spear into that back line with the boomerang follow-up, and maybe now they will be able to kill that Aphelios. And that is going to be the nail in the coffin. They get a couple here in the mid lane, and they'll push for the victory.
You have no choice as Predator Freon but to try to push towards Baron and remove that vision and hopefully win a scrappy team fight, but the push alone to try to get mid control, to get those wards cleared out, cost them. Big arrow, big spear, that's the game. T1, fantastic macro tonight in their 2 wins. The game they lost, I would even argue they played great macro there too. You know, lots of good side laning from Faker. They understand how to use the map so well against a team that has some really, you know, not veteran players, right? Like I would say, you know, the fact that Predator Freon kind of choked up a little bit when they fell behind in both games is kind of the big difference between these two teams and how much experience they have. You have someone like Faker call the shots, and sometimes he was a little bit aggressive in that regard in game 2.
Taking the loss now puts them down at 5 and 10, so
yeah,
I don't even know if there's a chance. We'll have to wait and see.
Not to mention they face off against some of our best teams in the LCK in their upcoming schedule. Like, their schedule is one of the hardest remaining, if not the hardest remaining schedule. Actually, they had an easy run in the second round robin, still that resulted in a 5 and 10. And after that game 2 win, I think there was definitely some hope that maybe they could pull this off. They're still not out of the running, but
evolved over the course of 2-3 minutes. We're going to listen in to this last fight.
한 빼자. 괜찮긴 해. 괜찮긴 해. 아니 안 무빙한다. 앞에 거의 잡았어.
look at the engagement, so good.
미드 라인 있다 우리. 미드고. 나이스.
So we have a mid push.
나이스 잘했다잉.
Nice job.
다시 끊을게 이거.
가자 준아. 우리 20초면 끝나.
패시브
Finish in
붙여줄게.
20 seconds.
Like, you guys have 20 seconds to up your KDA. Good luck. We're not stopping.
깔끔했다잉.
It was
That was clean. Yeah. And that's just the truth. Like, you know in that moment the comms are clean, but T1, the sentiment from the T1 players even is like, that was clean, and that is exactly what we saw. I mean, that was one of the cleanest games you could ever win. And just dominate and crush, make very few mistakes. That's the kind of win you want to see after a faltering loss in game 2, right? A big bounce back.
So we do have the player of the game ready now. We'll take a look at that and see who does pick it up. It will actually be Canna on the Gnar. A couple nice plays and some good side lane pressure.
Yeah.
In this one.
The top push, you know, it's a 3-player